Oh, hey, I you caught me doing laundry. I'm sorting laundry, so it's a big job. I'm going to be here for a while. No, actually, so my goal was to post one piece of content on five different platforms every day, and the way that I've been doing that is pretty involved. Like it's a many step process that I use to write the content, turn it into a script, turn that into a video. And if you saw some of the like the very first video, I think I outlined exactly how I did that. Well, it turns out that some days that just doesn't work. It's not sustainable. Um, so, what I am considering doing, I'm considering doing a couple of things. One, I'm considering just scrapping the challenge altogether, which I really don't want to do. Um, but the other thing I'm considering is just letting myself be okay with figuring out what is sustainable, what I can do regularly, and just starting from there. And if I start from there and then I'm able to kind of build on that and eventually get back to the level of production I was doing, that's fine. But um, but I can't if I can't sustain it, if I can't keep up with it, then eventually I'm just going to have to scale back anyway. So I may as well do what I can sustain, get into a rhythm, and then, like I said, build from there. So that was actually kind of the premise for the topic that I chose for today, which I'll get into in just a moment. But right now, rather than writing out a script, I'm just going off the cuff. I'm recording this live and I'm broadcasting it to Facebook. And so I've bypassed actually writing a script and posting that on Twitter and doing all of that. Um, but I'm still going to take this video and I'm going to break it up into, or I'm going to download it and I'm going to share it across five different platforms. So technically, I'm still fulfilling the original plan that I had for sharing content for 30 days. So, and I'm doing a terrible job of multitasking right now. I'm uh, trying to do this video while I'm also sorting clothes, and it's not going very well. I'm a terrible multitasker. I don't know about you. So, on the topic of making incremental improvements, I think for a lot of things in life, many of us would be much better off, would burn out less, would um, not become injured as much, whether that's physically, mentally, or emotionally, if we were to accept our limits and work within those limits and try to grow incrementally from there, not too fast. So, one great example is running. I go running just about 5 days a week. I love running. And part of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to increase my mileage. And some of the advice out there says that if you want to increase your mileage, you don't want to do more than 1% every week. So if I run 10 miles in a week, the following week, oh, by the way, just so you know, there may be a child interruption at any point during this broadcast. So if that happens, that's just how it is. It's spring break. So, um, but if I run 10 miles in a week, the following week, I might feel like I could do 12 total miles or 13 total miles, but my chances of getting injured are higher past a 1% improvement. So instead of running, 11 or 12 miles, I should run 10.1 and then gradually increase that. And that feels slow. That feels like, I'm not gaining the kind of mileage I want to. But over time, over a longer period of time, you're actually protecting your body from injury and you're still able to improve. So I think of the same principle with, and in fact, James Clear talks about this with weightlifting. James Clear is the author of a book called Atomic Habits, which is really great. You should definitely check it out, especially if you're trying to establish new habits or quit old habits. But the what he says about lifting weights is that it feels slow, but you should only make incremental uh, improvements on the amount of weight you're lifting. So instead of making a jump, if you're doing a deadlift, for example, instead of making a jump from 100 to 150, you might want to go from 100 to 105 and then increase by another 2.5 after that, and just slowly, and that protects all of the structures. And it's not just the muscles that you think you're using for the deadlift, but it's all the other supportive muscles and structures in the body that make doing that lift possible. And so it's a similar thing with running and speed. One of the things that they say is if you want to go fast as a runner, you have to start slow. And that always seemed backwards to me. In my head, I'm like, well, no, I want to go fast. But what I found is that if I'm going fast, my heart rate jumps up, and basically what I'm training my body to do is to go into overdrive every time I go out running. If I slow down and I allow my heart rate to get into a different zone, then I'm training my body to build the ability to serve oxygen to me more efficiently. And over time, what that does is it allows me to increase my speed without increasing my heart rate. So those are just a few examples of how that principle works. But I bring it back to producing video content. I can. This is by the way, this is my fourth piece of laundry that I'm actually sorting. I can produce really nice videos. Like, I have the equipment, the lighting, but what I don't have is the time and the structure in my schedule right now to be able to do all of those things consistently without causing issues or conflicts in other areas. And so for me right now, doing something like this is something I can sustain, is a way that I can continue putting out video content consistently across multiple platforms. And then, maybe next week I'll add in some other piece of the process. Or maybe, as my time expands, I'm able to do a little bit more production. But it's incremental. I'm not forcing myself to do stuff that I can't sustain. So anyways, I don't know how that might apply to the things that you're experiencing in your daily life. If there are things that were places in your life where you feel burned out or like you're injuring yourself physically and mentally, emotionally. But I just want to encourage you to don't overdo it. Find something that you can sustain and allow yourself to improve or grow incrementally, and just be patient, and the results will take care of themselves. So that's going to do it for me for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.